What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZBCN Zebec today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 27th of May today. You sold off a little bit, down 11%. You're down a little bit more on the day. You didn't go as high as we were expecting, but you did see that secondary attempt, right? And I think the fact that you're pulling back here might hurt the odds that you do end up at this 0057, 0065 area. For some reason, I thought it was 0055 was the target area. Maybe that's just where you topped off. No, you stopped at 0053. Why do I want to say 0055? Let's see. Maybe I'm just confusing it with another coin. I don't know. No, yeah, there's... Oh, right there. Right at the 1272. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I wanted to say 0055, but you might miss this area. You've pulled back and you found support at the golden ratio today, so that's encouraging. It is possible to still hit this area, but let's dissect this thing a little bit in the short term, right? Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and go from there. I do want to keep this fib up while we go through. I remember what all these lines are. It might be distracting, but just bear with me here, okay? 1 hour time frame, and I'll try and keep it muted until it's necessary. 1 hour time frame here, looking like you're getting lower lows in the RSI. You're bouncing here. Yes, you're at an area to find resistance here at your prior support, resistance here at prior resistance, and your 1 hour RSI, you're at resistance where you previously found support as well too. So you actually might turn around from here, not continuing higher. If you do move up from here, don't get too excited, right? Moving up from here does not mean that you're going to this zone just yet. I would say you have to see some 1 hour time frames close above about 0051. 0051, if you can get above that on a 1 hour time frame closing basis or higher, if you're back up here and you're closing, not wicking up there to form some kind of double top, right? If we wick up here and then we come down, it's a double top. It's not a good look, right? Whereas if you're closing up here and kind of consolidating, well, you actually might make one final push up there and then sell off. Something like that could happen. But at this point in time, just looking at this, I would assume you're just finding support at your golden ratio, finding support at prior resistance here, and now you're going to find resistance at prior support and prior resistance back there, and likely move down. Let me look at the 15-minute time frame real quick. 15-minute is bearish. It is bearish. At the moment, you're getting a little bit of a lift from this bullish divergence, and you might continue to go even a little bit higher. But again, a little bit higher doesn't do it, man. You need to get above 2051 on a 1 hour closing basis or higher, right? Looking at this on a 4 hour time frame, you are at a nice area to bounce. I'm not going to lie. The 4 hour RSI actually does look pretty good. You're bouncing. Oh, sorry. Thought that I clicked away the brush, but no, I still had the brush on. 4 hour RSI at the 50 to bounce here. Getting overbought like this, bearish divergence at the top. That bearish divergence formed right here. You've gone right to where that bearish divergence was formed and found support right there. Oh, that's so perfect. I would think if you go up, again, I stand by it, man. Actually, we might even refine this a little bit. Maybe you don't have to go, maybe it isn't 2051, maybe it is 20506, whatever, but something above that line is what you need to get to prove to me that you're not done with this move and that you are moving up still. But even if you move up still, man, like the upside that we're talking about is right here to 2057 to 2065, right? Somewhere in that range, which doesn't look like it's that far, but from the current price, that's about, it's another 26%, 45%, something like that. Very possible to achieve over the coming days, but at this point in time, I'm kind of convinced that we're going to move down. I am kind of convinced we're going to move down. You've had a very amazing uptrend on your 4 hour time frame. You've just broken out of it. I think that you could find support here, but likely what's going to happen is even if you do find support, you'll probably reject down, find support at your 40, maybe come down to your oversold area where you found support before, ultimately, before making your next run up. ZBCN probably consolidates something like this, and it won't be until next week, probably sometime in June, that you actually start moving up again. And that makes sense, man. Not a financial advisor, but I've been here before. This is my third bull cycle. I've seen it time and time again. Everything's boring. Everything's moving down. But then this one coin is ripping, and it's ripping to all new, all-time high prices. Just crazy, crazy growth in a short amount of time. And then when the rest of the market starts pumping, what happens is people see a coin like this, they take their boring coins that aren't pumping, that are even going down, they sell them, they put it in a coin like this. So while the rest of the market's being boring and this thing's pumping, they sell their boring coins for the exciting coin. And then the rest of the market gets exciting, and then this coin goes down. It's not broken. It's not a bad thing just because it's going down while the rest of the market's pumping, but it'll make you think that. Because it went up while everything was going down. Why is it going down when everything goes up? Because things take their turns. And if you're pumping, I don't care if the rest of the market's pumping, you're probably going to need to take a break. You're probably going to need to chill a little bit. And I mean, so far, from a high to a low, that's a good starting point, dropping 24%. But I think you got lower to go, man. I think you got a lot lower to go. I personally do believe that you are going to pull back down to your all-time high area. That's at 20337. So at least there. You've already pulled back there, right? You checked back there to find support right there. So at least there. If not there, let's see, where would you go? If not at least there, where would you go? I mean, so to be fair, actually, with this all-time high to all-time low fib, hitting the 1272, finding resistance here, the common thing to do would be to go back to your 786, 886 area. Now, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I don't think you're going to drop from the current price. I mean, overall, let's take it from the high, actually, in this aspect. I don't think you could drop 56%. I was about to say, I don't think you dropped that much, but I thought it was going to be a larger percentage drop than that. 50. I mean, you could. You really could. This is crypto, you guys. Even the most bullish coins have these kind of shakeout drops, very volatile drops. 2 zeros, 2 4 could be a target. Yeah, it could be a target. I'm not saying you will go down there. I'm not saying it's going to happen. That's not a guarantee. But if I had to guess, if I had to bet on anything, I would feel very safe in saying 00337 is where you're going to go at least there. But in this kind of situation, it is very common to go to the 786, 886 zone. So prepare for that. In absurdly bullish situations, which I would say this is a pretty absurdly bullish situation, it is more common to bounce off the 100 or the 886. So look for that. I would say something between 0033. Let's say 0034 to 0028, somewhere in that area there. That's where I think you're going to bounce. But if you went as low as 0024, you're fine. It's actually very normal to go from your 1272 down to your 786 and then continue to build from there, right? I do think you'll continue to build in a matter of no time at all. I do not expect this drop to take a long time, right? You're used to long phases of consolidation. That's not what's happening here, right? Like maybe for a week, maybe for 2 weeks, and it's going to be fast. It's going to scare you. It's going to scare the hell out of you. It needs to. Too many people got in thinking that it's just a joyous ride all the way up to the upside, and it will be more or less if you just wait. But the weak hands, the FOMO buyers up here, the only way to scare them out is to not slowly bleed down, but to just do it immediately, right? They came in on the quick pump. They'll get out on the quick dump too, and then once they get out, the big dogs step in to buy, myself, other people included, hopefully, and then the price will continue to rocket up there. Likely going to, let's see, what price are we looking for? At a minimum, 1.38 cents to 1.65 cents. At a bare minimum right there, but I feel pretty confident you're going to see something around 2.7 cents or higher. If not, man, I mean, this thing could run all the way up to 10 cents. You never know. Maybe just below 10 cents. It really could. I don't feel too confident in where to call for this thing because it's just such new all-time history. If I really had to guess, though, I would think that you get at least above 2.7 cents. 4.4 cents, 6.7 cents, 10 cents, all of those targets are possible, man. It's really hard to say. I suppose I'm less confident in 10 cents than I am in 6.7 cents. I'm also not that confident in 2.7 cents. I actually think that we would go higher, but at least there, right? It's like this I'm not confident in as a minimum target. I think that we would actually go higher. This I'm not confident in as a maximum target. I think that we'd stop a little bit lower. So if we had to refine it, I guess I'm saying 6.77 to 4.4 cents, but don't get hung up on that, right? We could stop. I call these the buns, right? We could stop at the buns. We might not get to the meat. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, but higher nonetheless. Just a little bit of consolidation for now. Get this weekly RSI out of the overbought zone. Get your daily RSI out of the overbought zone. Then we'll talk. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, and good job. And by the way, actually, in case anybody's still here, if the question comes to mind, if you're feeling any kind of anxiety about the idea of selling, or like you don't know what to do, oh no, what do I do? Maybe just don't do anything. Just hold on. Just wait. Buy more if it goes down. Whenever it's at the lows, think, oh, I knew I should have sold at the high. I could have done it. It would have been so good, but who cares? Because it's still going to go up higher. You're still going to make money. And at least you held and you're still in it for that. Some people who sell here will have the intention to buy lower, but what happens if it doesn't go as low as the targets that I'm portraying? What happens if it goes lower and it scares you and it makes people shake out? You know, like what happens if doesn't give you a good enough reason for you to get back in if you sell here, or you sell here and then you get bored and you buy another coin while you're waiting, and then ZBCN ultimately does better than that other coin, but you got in that coin because it moved up 5% in a day that ZBCN was moving down. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're feeling uneasy about what to do, you hear these big drops coming your way, this is what I would do. And again, do whatever you want, but I would just tell myself, I'm in the crypto markets. This is what happens. Volatility happens. If it happens, and I have extra cash on the side, I'll just buy more down there. I'll wait for the prices to go that I think they're going to go to, and I think that's the best decision, right? I think trying to play the game is a good way to get burned, speaking from personal experience, and just holding is a good way to make sure that you captivate all the growth that's to come. So there's nothing wrong with holding. There's nothing wrong. You know, some people they like to think that on this road to riches and glory that it's just so easy, that it's going to be so easy all the way up there. All you had to do was just hold, but that's not all you had to do. You had to hold through these downtrends. And oh, whatever, it's fine. You should know that it's worth it. But from a high to a low, whenever you're down 32% from what you were just seeing at your all-time highs when you were euphoric, that hurts a little bit psychologically, emotionally. That can mess with you. So it's not that simple. It might seem like it's just simple to just hold through things, but you got to be patient. You just got to really, what you got to do is just not pay attention to it, not care, buy more. Do the opposite of whatever your impulses are telling you to do. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. ZBCN's got higher to go. Just let it do its thing, man. That's my biggest thought here. But if you want to sell, it's probably at a good area to sell. But don't hate me whenever it just rips through the roof. It could keep doing that. It can defy gravity. That's why you don't mess with it, man. It's crypto. You never know. You never know whenever it could do unexpected things. Anyways, I'm done. Bye-bye.